My name is Jack, but my Hebrew name is Judah, so a lot of people know me as Judah. I go to work at a group home. I take care of people with developmental issues as of right now, but that is to also supplement some income while I go to NWTC for Digital Media Technology, or DMT, which I've never done, by the way, but I've had some experiences that I can get into in a second. But if I had to define myself, it wouldn't be by my work or even my interests, but a lot of interests that I do have. I'm an avid chess player. In my free time, I do competitive Fortnite. I like playing with my friends on Fortnite as well. There's just so much under the sun, and I'm the type of guy to want to explore it all. I travel around the world. I eat at all these great restaurants all the time, and just people always reach out to me and say, man, hey, how do you do this? Because I don't make jack shit for money at my job currently, but you know, sometimes life just finds a way. So I would define myself in a way that says, hey, I do a lot of stuff. My name's Jack. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm learning Russian, this, that, and the other thing. I just think the world's a wonderful place, and I would define myself as the guy who wants to explore it all. Before I was chatting with Robert, and we were talking about, he asked me about China, because like I said, I've been to probably like 12 countries now or whatever. I'm 22, I'm just getting started, but China was interesting because, you know, it's got the Great Wall of China, I mean, among other things. Don't eat the fast food there because I was shitting my brains out like crazy. It was horrible. And never again. It was called Mr. Yen's or whatever, and they had fast food ramen, and oh my God. I'm surprised I didn't get the Wuhan flu at that point in time. But we went to the Great Wall of China, and a lot of times when people think about the Great Wall of China, they think, you know, boom, postcard, picturesque, you know, just monumental beauty. And that is very true. I went to that part of the Great Wall of China. You know, that's been restored, upkept, beautiful. They have trolleys, you know, climbing up to it. Like, I'm sure way back 1,000 years ago that, you know, the Mongols wish they had a trolley to just kind of ride up and go over. But there's another part of the Great Wall of China that as the pure adventurer inside of me really needed to see. It's a section of the wall called Jiangku, and it's just unrestored. It's crumbling. Like, it's, if you saw that on a postcard, you'd be like, man, what a shithole. But to me, that's what I wanted to see. You want to see history. You want to see overgrowth in the Great Wall and just crumbling walls. That's what I want to see. So I dragged my sister and my dad outside of Beijing. I said, we got to do this. We got to do this. Hired some random Chinese guy. I mean, we're in China, right? At least I'm pretty sure he's Chinese. And he's just got this van where we pay him some yen, and you know, he's taking us to this section of the wall. We get to the section of the wall. They got signs everywhere. It says, do not climb this wall. Do not even, like, you shouldn't even be here right now. I mean, good thing they had, I don't even know if they had English. They might have had English underneath it, or, you know, technology. I was just like, oh, I wonder what that says. And it's like, okay, we really shouldn't be here. But screw that nonsense. We walk up to the wall, hike up. You even got to hike up to the wall. We start climbing. You got to climb up this dingy little ladder to get to the wall. My dad gets on the ladder. He looks up. He looks down. He said, hell no. He gets down. I'm like, okay, well, there's still me and my sister. So there's two sides, crumbling rock. There's no like steps. You know, it's just, you got to like crawl up the wall. So my sister, you know, got to get the Instagram pictures and all this and that. And then she sees dad all the way down there, and she's like, you know what, screw it, I'm out too. I'm like, what? I'm just getting started. And they're like, you know what, this is your time. Do what you got to do. And so I was like, okay. I start climbing up. I'm looking around. The sights that you see, the sweeping views of China, of landscape, from the Great Wall of China, it was breathtaking. It was absolutely breathtaking. And about a mile or whatever in the distance, I saw this huge, like this high up tower, this outlook tower something, but it was gonna be like, it was up and away. Like, it was gonna take a while to get up there. So I said, you know what? It's my time, like they said, start crawling up. Start crawling up. I'm walking past bushes growing through the wall, and I'm surprised I didn't see some bones and a corpse, because apparently when they were building the Great Wall of China, bro, they would just be like, all right, well, you died. You know, here, you're inside the wall now. And that would have been crazy. But anyways, I get to one of the top things, and I'm like, I need to get to the top of this. I start climbing up it, right? And all of a sudden, I'm like, whoa. But then I'm like, how am I going to get down? Because it was kind of sketchy getting up. I slip. I'm getting down like this. I slip, and I'm telling you, before me, I looked death right in the eyes, and that's not the first time that's ever happened, but I looked him right in the eyes, and I was like, oh my God. Luckily, made it down. I went a little bit further and saw the final part that I wanted to get to, except it wasn't as easy as like climbing. There was little chunks of wall leading up to the part that I wanted to get to. And on both sides, imminent death. I'm not even saying like, oh, I fell and broke my leg and oh my God. No, probably 100 meters or so, and it's be, you know, not cool. So I'm looking at it, right, and I'm like, nope, I want to go eat some duck for dinner with my family. Met a British guy from Shanghai on the way down, and we talked, and I offered him a van ride, like in the van that I hired, and he stopped the Chinese guy from jipping us and paying us and leaving because he was from Shanghai, and that was a beautiful story. It was really cool. Followed him on Instagram and everything, and that was just like one out of many travel stories that, you know, was beautiful and awesome.